Good morning, welcome back to Unfit for Travel. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. The number one thing I get asked whenever I tell people we live in a motorhome is it hard to travel with it? Is it a lot of work? So today we're going to take you through breaking down, driving, and setting up. So the first thing, which we've already mostly done, is you have to make sure before you take off there's nothing on any counters. The only thing, which we're going to drink those bottles of water, but the only thing we don't take off the kitchen counter is the Keurig, which we've been told to take it off, but this one has now traveled all the way from the very bottom of Florida to California, and it's only moved a couple of inches, so we just let it stay there. Nothing on the dinette, but we do put stuff on the cushions, but we make sure stuff that, if it falls, is okay. Nothing on the couch. The stuff back here, since there's a little lip, it kind of travels okay as well. You just have to make sure that the bathroom door is locked. I take down all of our soaps and stuff off of the high up counter. So, and then bedroom, same thing, nothing on the counter. And as Alex works from home, we have a lot of computers, and so we use the bed as a soft traveling point for them. And so far, haven't had any issues with them on the bed. When they were not on the bed, we're not going to talk about that. Another thing you have to do is just make sure that there's nothing in front of the slides. So in the bedroom, the bed moves, but the base doesn't. So this is actually awesome storage down here. So the bed just kind of slides in over it. We'll show you that in a little bit. And then out here, we have to make sure down here that there's nothing in front of this slide, that it can come all of the way in. So what we do is we line all of our stuff up against the kitchen counter. So, as you know, we travel with 2 kitty cats, so we have their 2 cat boxes. When we're not traveling, when we're not driving, they actually go in front of the driver's seat and the passenger seat. Okay, so once you're done, it's all dry. Typically what you do next is you do a black tank flush. Ours has a port for it, but it's broke, so we did our own little ghetto flush. And you leave the black tank open, and basically that just cleans out the stuff from the bottom. So when you're done, you close it. See, not gross at all. And then we're gonna do our gray water, which is your kitchen sink, your bath water, all of that. And we're gonna let the soap from all that clean out the hose. So I don't think there's that much in the gray tank right now. We've just done a couple loads of dishes. Actually, I think I showered. So typically, you can look at me now. So typically, whenever you're hooked up at a site, your tanks fill up, this is all you have to do. So it's not gross at all. You just have to pull a couple levers and you're done. So, do this all the time.
Did it goose yet? Oh, there it goes.
So whenever the gray tank is done, you close it off, and then now here is the gross part. Now we get to unhook the hose. So we're gonna switch parties now. Not because I think it's too gross for me, because it's not. And on our last rig I did it all the time, but on this rig the connections are super tight and I'm not strong enough to do it. So let's unhook.
Okay, so when dealing with a poop hose, you don't want to touch it. That's gross. So gloves are definitely something that'll let you hold your burrito and not think about poop.
So the next step is going to be unhooking the water connection. Once again, I can do this part, but let me see. You're gonna unhook it from the rig. I've already turned it off at the main source. I say I can do this part. He's got it like glued together now.
Ah!
You do typically get a little bit of back spray.
Okay, come here, hose. So these ports are not very well engineered. Matter of fact, on the Thor website, everybody's asking, how do I stop it from leaking? What's wrong with my stuff? There's nothing wrong with it. They're just, this gasket doesn't seal very well, or it does, but this threading right here, not that great. the weight from here will pull on it and eventually you'll spring a leak. So I've done plumber's tape here to kind of remedy that issue from leaking from the seal. However, bending of it does cause another leak, which is right here at the joint, and you're going to have to replace these once in a while. So I would always have a spare because it'll start squirting you in the face if you do not. So this one is actually going away. We've had this one for a while and we're replacing the entire setup. So no need for that anymore. With the water filter, keep this one handy because they do tend to fall out a lot, and I discovered that the bad way, so now I always keep the previous one in there just tossed about in case it falls out and I don't realize it and I don't know why it's leaking. So now it's just time to reel the hoses up, shove them in the compartment, and then keep on the packing.
So the next step is to bring in the slides. We can bring them in just based on the engine power, but they come in a little bit better if you're still hooked up to shore power, so we wait to unplug our power cord. So, where do you think you're going? Cat's trying to run out. But here we go. So in our rig, to bring the slides in, don't forget to shut the door, the engine has to be on. So we're going to start there. And we're going to come down here to our little control panel. I'm going to go to our slide menu. And I like to start with the bedroom, and I'll make sure that none of the cats are back there. So if Sam's back there, he'll run out, not a big deal, but this one, he'll just chill and we'll have to climb over stuff to get to him. So once I know, I guess Precious is out, we go ahead and we retract our slide for the bedroom. I always start at the back, work my way forward. And it's super hard. I mean, pressing the button is so hard. So what I like to do, well, first off, I'm going to shut the door so that no cat can get back here while I'm doing this. But I always, after I do that, stick my head outside just to make sure it came in all the way. And that looks good. The whole slide is in. So now we're going to move. So then, one step that we're going to go ahead and do, we normally do it a little bit later, but we turn off the ACs, which I already did. We don't like to run them if we're not hooked up to shore power. And then we also come back over here and we turn off our electric water heater, because if we don't, then it's going to run on gas the whole time, and we like to preserve our gas because we don't need hot water when we're driving. So we're going to go back over to slide. Pull in a little bit early. Just like the bedroom slide, I'm going to go outside and make sure that this slide came all the way in. We did have some issues with this slide. I think we had too heavy of stuff on it while we were moving it one time, and the two motors got out of sync. So sometimes it does not come all the way in. So before we move to the next step, we want to make sure that it's all the way in. So we're going to go outside and do that real fast.
There you go.
Okay, so next step, unplug it from power. So I always like to turn it off from here first. Put the power off, and then I can go ahead and disconnect from here. Disconnect from here. Then we just gotta wind up the hose. So when it comes to our storage compartments, we do a double check. One of us will go around, lock them all, and pull on them, make sure they're locked, and then the other person will go behind and just double check it. I'm not gonna tell you the reason why, but it could be because we've had them come open before. So I am the one who locked them this time and did the first check, so Alex is gonna do the second check. the next step is to actually take her down off of the levelers so that we can get the Jeep hooked up, as I do most of the Jeep hookup myself. Alex does to take her down off the levelers. I do stay outside because I'm watching just to make sure we don't have any issues. Whenever we left our last stop, we had an almost flat tire when it came down off the levelers. So I'm looking for things like that. So it's kind of fun to watch. Probably not on video. Okay, so this side looks good. We go all the way down. Let's go look at our problem side. Looks okay. I think it's a lot better than last time. Okay, so we're gonna pull around. Typically he lines me up, but I think he's gonna be working on getting something, so we'll see. It's really hot today, and I'm in jeans. I don't know what I was thinking. We love pull-through sites because we can hook up at site. We don't have to worry about going to a hookup spot. Don't think I'm lined up right. I think I'm too far to the left, but we'll wait for him. Get some air up in here. So put our neutral here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not even fully extended and you've got like 4 inches, so.
Okay, so the next step's gonna be to put her in neutral. I'm gonna try to scoot back a little bit so you can see. You want to film?
Film the master.
So we're gonna put her in neutral to start off with. This part's actually really hard in here. His Jeep does not like going into neutral, but so what I'm gonna do is put it in neutral. Turn her off. I think she's in it. Nope, going for high. I messed that up. Okay, we're gonna
put it back in park.
We're gonna cut that out. Just saying. Okay. We are now in neutral. So now we are going to test it just to make sure it's in neutral. So we're gonna put her in reverse, let off the brake, make sure we don't move. We don't. Put her in drive, let off the brake, make sure we don't move. We don't. So we're gonna put her in park where she's actually gonna stay while we drive. And for right now, we're gonna set the park and brake. So other than that, this part is done. I'll turn it back on to roll the window up. So then we're actually going to hook her up to the Jeep. So to do that, or to the motor, we're gonna come down over here and we are going to take out these little clips. Line her up. I get too close. Maybe not. Get it lined up. And then, like that. Like so. We're gonna hop over.
You want to do that side?
Do the same thing. Other side.
Dougie.
Line her up. Pin back in. Put the other pin back in. Pop her on. Then we're gonna get these little cables and clip it on. clip her on. This one is our breakaway thing. We're gonna clip it on. Oops, she's a little like that. So we're connected here. And then now we need to hook up our brake system and turn on our brake lights. We use an RVI brake right now. I don't know how long we'll use it for. We'll see. Did you already move it all the way back?
No, I did not.
So use this thing, move the seat all the way back. I don't think you're going to be able to see me. This right here is going to get plugged in. And this Jeep, the only outlet that'll work when the engine's not on is all the way in the back. So we have an extension cord one, so I'm going to kind of drape it over. And pull out the little foot. And carefully hook it on. Hook it on to the brake and get it kind of wedged up in there. And now I need to find our extension cord. Once you do that, it starts train honking at you, and it's going to tell you what to do.
Push auto position button.
So you just do what it says. Push auto position
Push auto
button
position button.
again.
Push auto position button. Push auto position button again. Push auto position button one more time. RVI brake ready.
Okay, so it says the RVI brake is ready. So that means the Jeep is set up and good to go.
See tablet to troubleshoot.
And we are done here, so I'm actually going to go ahead. I want to turn her off.
Don't forget your
RVI brake ready.
And I'm going to take the parking brake off. I'm going to come on out. We're hooked up. Brake is set. Everything is good. So now we're going to do what we like to call our brake roll check. And so I'm going to stay out here while Alex goes inside. And he's going to hit the brakes, the turn signals, all of that good stuff. Wait, where's my phone? We're gonna see if we can get enough phone signal out here to call each other. So we're gonna have to FaceTime because we have zero phone signal out here. So, but this way, what we can do is we can do brake check and talk to each other. We could also use our walkie-talkies if we ever plugged them in. Okay, brake check. Okay, brakes are lit up. I'm gonna show you. Right blinker. Okay, looks good. Left blinker. Okay, looks good. And now we're gonna do a roll check. He's gonna roll forward just a few feet, and we're just going to make sure that we have it in neutral correctly. That side looks good. I like to check both sides because I'm silly. That side rolled just a hair more, looks good. And so we are rolling. So now he's going to wait for me. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up with him. And we are going to go get on the road. Now he did get into one of these compartments earlier, so I'm gonna double check them. And the one last thing, you always wanna lock your toad. So we're on locker. It's really windy, sorry. Come on in. Ouch. And then we're going to lock the door. Here, hold while I lock the door. can't lock the door one-handed. You do kind of have to pull on it. Both locks. Double check everything's off the counter. So I got my water. Someone turned my fans off. We're gonna move the cat bed out of my chair, even though that's where he likes to sit. And we are ready.
You're on Sled God.
Am I? Is
Yep.
it recording? Does it stay recording?
It says recording.
Okay.